Megan Hicks of I Run Far. I'm with Camille Herron. It's the day after the 2022 Western States Endurance Run. Congratulations on your first top 10 at Western States. This is a long time coming for you.
Oh my gosh. It's been a heck of a journey the past 5 years since the first one. I mean, I've been so determined and stubborn to get this right, and I'm probably about 75% of the way there to getting it right. But yeah, I mean, this is the first time I came to the race healthy and prepared like really, really well, like was ready to manage myself in the heat. And I just keep improving.
So this was your first start of the event, 2 starts and not finishes, and then a really tough finish last year. But immediately after last year's race, you said, "I'm going to do this again. I want to do this again." What compels you to do Western States?
I think just being stubborn.
Okay.
Being really stubborn. I mean, I want to get things right. Like I'm so tough on myself that I don't want to just get it right. I want to win. And so, I mean, this is the first time I came into the race. Like I've had like a lot of setbacks. I've had health issues. The past like 6 years have been like this roller coaster of health issues. And after I finished last year, I knew something was wrong with my health. I came into this race with a high iron issue, and I didn't know how long it was going to take to like overcome that.
Yep.
And so after having that really gritty finish last year, I said, okay, we've got a year to like
figure this out.
Yeah. So I had to start working with a dietitian.
Okay.
Because having high iron is kind of a tricky thing. Like, how do you work with that? You know, it wasn't like I could like donate blood before the race because that might really throw me off. But I had to like work with a dietitian and figure out like what I needed to do to get my Inferno back. And so I started feeling it like last August. Like I started feeling like, okay.
Yourself again.
Yes. Yeah. So I just went through a struggle there last year. And I really think like, I mean, the whole high iron issue, I think it's something that has kind of been building over time. And then it finally like just really broke me down last year.
Wow.
And so I had to get professional help to figure out how to correct that. And I mean, I just turned 40 and I'm feeling the best I felt like maybe ever.
Hot damn, that's awesome.
I feel so good, like figuring out this health issue that I had. I mean, it's probably my whole running career has been impacted by this. And I'm approaching 40 and feeling the best of my running career.
So let's talk about yesterday's race. It looked like, sort of from the outside looking in, there were some high highs and a few low lows. So maybe let's talk about that roller coaster.
Yeah.
You were ecstatic on the escarpment, the literal high of the race.
Yeah. Definitely, I felt like coming here, I have to like pull back my reins on my speed. So it may have been my slowest climb at the escarpment. Even the snow years, I mean, like I felt like I was hiking. This is the first time I've hiked the escarpment. Normally I'm trying to run like 99% of it, but I was hiking. I probably hiked like, it was probably more like run 60%, hike 40%.
Interesting.
So I had to have that mindset to pull back the reins, and the high country part is definitely outside my comfort zone, but I've been practicing more in technical terrain and getting my bearings. So I came in with the mindset that like I can hold back earlier in the race to save my legs for later in the race. And so yeah, I mean, I had to be comfortable with, not being in the lead, know, not being on the top 3 or whatever. Knowing that's okay because I have to work with my strengths.
I guess from my perspective, it seemed like you just stayed patient. Like women moved in front of you during the technical terrain. We had a report that you went down somewhere out there.
I had a couple like little minor falls, but nothing that like, it wasn't like I was like falling on my head or anything. Like in the past, I've had some bad falls that just like really kind of like messed with my head. But they were just like minor falls. Like, I mean, there was a lot of like loose rock in the high country because they had like a lot of snow melt and it was really wet and there's all this loose rock. So I mean, there were times that like I kind of slipped on the loose rock, but it wasn't like super bad.
Nothing big.
Yeah, nothing big. So as long as I kept myself mostly upright and like didn't have any major falls, like I was fine. Felt fine.
And then maybe it's around like mile 40-ish, something like that. The terrain sort of opens up and becomes a lot more runnable. Not the entire way, but a lot more miles of it. It seemed like you were using that to your favor, and you started moving up. And I believe at Forest Hill, mile 62, you were in podium position at that point?
Yeah. I think it really helps I did the training camp this time.
Okay.
So that kind of gave me the confidence to know that when I hit Robinson Flat, like it's pretty runnable terrain. And so I had to like use that to my advantage. And the thing was, I didn't want to get like crazy fast during that part, because if you let the engine overheat, like you can just really tank it in the canyons. So you
have to sit on the side of the road and let things cool down for a long time, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I kept it really controlled, but at the same time, like I knew like I could use that to my advantage and start working my way up on the women. I think the biggest thing for me though was I was managing the heat really well, and that really helped me to get through things like the doubles. My phone's going. Sorry about that.
I love it.
So I mean, I like at the bottom of the Devil's Thumb, there's like that little creek, and I submerged my entire body.
You got all the way in.
Absolutely.
How
I did.
was that?
Like dip my head. I mean, it was so good. I think that was a key point, because I was able to pass 2 women on the climb, and I felt like $1 million.
Wow.
So that was really key. And then like I guess like coming out El Dorado Canyon, I mean I almost ran the whole way like up that, and I think I passed like Keeley and Tim Tolson. But yeah, I mean I had my climbing legs. I felt like I was keeping it controlled, but also like using the climbs to my advantage. So.
And then I think probably after that came your proverbial low point in the race. Our reporters on California Street and at the river reported that you were feeling unwell. Is that the right way to put it?
Yeah, I don't really know what happened, but I think part of what triggered me was I had a drink between Michigan Bluff and Forest Hill that didn't sit well with me, and it somehow like triggered it. Just I mean you're taking in so many different things during the race that you never know when you're gonna have that one thing that just like doesn't sit well. So one of the drinks I had just didn't sit well with me, and I actually wanted Tums when I came into Forest Hill, and my crew didn't have them on me, so I had to wait until I got to Cal 1 and got some Tums. And then so I took a couple of Tums, and that kind of settled my gut. But then I think when I got to Cal 2, they tried to give me something, and I started puking. So I mean this is ultra ready for you. Sometimes you like nail it, and other times there could just be something that just sets you off. And but I mean I went into the 24-hour runner mindset that I'm used to working through challenges to keep going, and so that was just the mindset that I had. That I just had to like get over the nausea and the puking and just settle my gut, and then just get back out there. So.
And so how did all of that play out? I think it was at Rucky Chucky you were still not feeling super well, but things came back together enough that you were able to motor to the finish and maintain a top 10 position. Can you talk about the final 20 miles?
Yeah, I felt like because I had puked, like I just like my energy was kind of low, and I just needed to have like one last just settle everything down, get some food in me, just try to get my energy back up, because it's only 22 miles. In my mind, it's not that bad. I mean I go these really long distances, so I feel like for me, I'm actually stepping down in distance to do 100 miles, and I can process that, 22 miles is not that far.
Yeah.
So once I got over the nausea and got my energy back up, like I said, I got this, so.
What was it like to come across the finish? And I mean, like you said, your mentality is to win, and you did not win, but it was a huge progression.
Oh, yeah.
Like this, for me, looking at you, this marks a huge progression at this race. How did it feel?
Oh, absolutely amazing. Like I mean you hit the track here, and for me, I mean being top 10, I mean that's the first time it's happened, and I mean this is my personal journey here, that I'm stubborn enough that I'm going to keep showing up until I get it right. Like I want to keep improving, and I mean coming away from the race, I can already see things I could work on, and I mean I'm a F8 now, so I could get to come back here.
Well, you have already asked my final question of will we see you here again? And I guess the answer is yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I might get that 10-year belt buckle, so.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your 8th place finish at the 2022 Western States Endurance Run, and we'll see you in 2023.
Thank you. Yeah, keep showing up and work my way to the top.
I love it. Thanks, Camille.
Yeah.